Gamers are absolutely pissed about Star Wars Outlaws, especially those who got the early access and had to pay $130 for the privilege of playing 10, 20 hours into a game and then forcing a new game restart because you couldn't continue from your last save point. Ubisoft really botched this on every single level and proved that they really don't care about customers at all. And even IGN's calling them out at this point. I can't believe this. I've never seen IGN go at a company like Ubisoft. They usually are so shilly when it comes to AAA games. You know how it goes. But this is just a long line of problems that Ubisoft's been facing due to their incompetency, due to the woke mind virus that's infested their entire company. It's just going to continue from here until they collapse or fire all these jokers. We'll get into the news in just a moment. My name's John Delarose. Everybody, please hit the like and subscribe button here as we talk about the most important things in pop culture. And I'm also a content creator. I make my own comics, and this is my Hidden Emperor graphic novel on Kickstarter. If you are sick of the way Disney's mistreated Star Wars and want a replacement for it, this is a great place to start. I made a beautiful space opera epic here, which is going to be coming out very, very soon. We've got the book done. Just waiting for the campaign to close, and we'll start getting this into print. You can see that we've been tremendously successful so far, and it's because we tell action-adventure stories the way they should be. They probably should have hired me to consult on the writing for Star Wars Outlaws, but you know they never would. So check this out. It's in the description below. Thank you guys so much for the tremendous support. This is our second best-selling graphic novel of all time with 18 days to go. I think we're going to eclipse it, and you can help us get there. Appreciate your support again. All right, so this is pretty interesting from IGN. We know that Star Wars Outlaws has been a complete train wreck the entire time it's come out. We saw the preview images of Kay Vess. It looked terrible. The developer went out there and said that they wanted to create a female character that was, quote, accessible. Very weird statement right there, and makes you wonder what he's thinking, but okay. And then the gameplay actually came out, and it was actually worse than the previews. It's like, what's going on here? So people saw this. Reviews have been tepid. We've seen even IGN gave it a 7 out of 10, which is about its lowest rating that it gives any kind of AAA game ever. And basically, it's just got a bunch of random kitchen sink things thrown into an open world. And that's it. I think the best review I saw of the game actually just talked about the Sabak mini game inside of it more than the game itself. And if the only thing that a review can talk about is the freaking mini game, you know there's a problem. So the game's been buggy. People haven't liked it. We know that it's a complete failure on this level. And Ubisoft's scared. So with the buggy stuff, they had to release a new patch. And with the new patch, we covered this yesterday, the early access players got screwed out of their games that they've been playing. Now, that wouldn't just be a problem if it was a free early access or something like that. But really, the early access, well, it's still a problem. It sucks for the gamers who are investing time in it. But the early access players paid $130 for the privilege of playing for a couple of days and then having to start over from scratch because they can't use their saves. So basically what would happen with this patch is that you have to install it in order to keep playing. And then you would have to... you'd get progress checkpoints where you'd be stuck and you would not be able to get out of space once you were back in space to try to go to the next level or whatnot. And so you would be forced to start a new game in order to keep playing. And so people were absolutely livid on X yesterday talking about this, just feeling like they got screwed out of their money, and they did. And then Ubisoft responds with a trinket and some loyalty points no one wants. So it's like womp womp. They really didn't give anything exciting to these people. They didn't give them a reason to stay around. They give them stuff nobody wants. And IGN saying this is like a really bad customer service response to this whole deal. It's terrible. And even in their subtitle, I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further. You know, it's a cliche to use that with a Star Wars sort of thing that kind of sucks. But that's it. I mean, Ubisoft literally altered the deal. And you got to pray they don't alter it further because it's already pretty bad. So what they say here is following this week's Star Wars Outlaws update that forced some early access players to restart the game, Ubisoft offered a make good, an in-game trinket, and some loyalty points. In the week of releasing Star Wars Outlaws patch 1.000.002, Ubisoft warned PlayStation players that they might have encountered some issues. And so they said, to best experience the Outer Rim, we rolled out a maintenance to make sure everyone playing the latest version of the game. As one of the players affected who had access to an older version of the game, we are aware you might be encountering some issues after this recent patch. We sincerely apologize for any inconveniences this may have caused. Once you've confirmed that you have the latest version, please start a new save to fully enjoy Star Wars Outlaws as our team is intended. If you continue on a prior save, you will unfortunately face issues and progression blockers. I saw somebody yesterday posting being like, dude, I played 7 hours last night, and I don't want to go back. This game was not good enough to replay that 7 hours again. That's painful. And so he just gave up on the game completely. And the real problem, again, because of the gold edition and the like, a lot of these players paid $130 just to get this game to have to play it over again for those 7 hours. So what they did, they sent a Trailblazer trinket and 100 Ubisoft Connect units. These units are Ubisoft Connect loyalty points, which can be used on in-game rewards and Ubisoft store discounts. Here's their message that they said. We are following up on the previous email we sent you regarding issues with an outdated version. We fully acknowledge that asking you to start a new game is not the best experience. It's way more than that, my friends. It sucks. It really sucks. This is such a downplay corporate speak, especially during the early access period, and for that we apologize. To make your return to the Outer Rim a little more special, we are granting you an in-game Trailblazer trinket as well as 100 Ubisoft Connect units to redeem for in-game rewards, for example. We are actively working on adding Ubisoft Connect units to your account so you can use these as soon as possible, and you can collect the trinket from a delivery crate in the back of the Trailblazer once you reach Toshara. We appreciate your patience. We hope you enjoy the game. So these units are already being called worthless by disgruntled players. I lost 15 hours of progress. Can you imagine playing a game for 15 hours and then having to be like, oh, I have to restart? This is pretty bad. Well, I explored a lot, so I took my time. Today, I was forced to start over and rushed in 6 hours, nearly to the state I was in before, so now he's at 21 hours of a game. Jeez. It sucks that they couldn't just release a hot fix. That's really what they should have done. Why wouldn't they just do that? I really don't understand. I think it's just lazy development again. You know, you have a AAA game where you've got so much support built into it, so many hours built into it, so much budget put in it. You just make it right. It shouldn't be that hard. But they just are trying to gloss over it and move on. And the reason I think something like that's happening is because they're like, you know what, there's not really enough worth and value to invest into this to really care about the gamers who are big, the whales, the ones who like really were into this game, who wanted that collector's edition, who wanted the early access. Those ones aren't important enough to us to do this. That is what this reeks of at this level. It's such an entitlement sort of deal from these AAA game companies. You're going to play it anyway, and you're going to like it anyway. That's just what it feels like, at least in my opinion. They could have given us some materials to upgrade our vehicles and a blaster a little faster, but the game is still fun. I hope no other game-breaking bugs appear. Well, you better hope pretty good. That's pretty rough that there was a game-breaking bug immediately, and they're hoping that there's not another one. That's a next level simpage. So good work for helping Ubisoft there. Others who have yet to run into the issues are worried about losing their progress. I've just seen the email tonight. I'm 20 hours in with 3 maxed out experts, max affinity and Prials, and others in good standing. This makes me want to pack it in, and that's good. That's going to happen more and more often right here. The good news sounds like a big update for Star Wars Outlaws enhancing visual fidelity on PS5. Hopefully that does, because it looked terrible. Addressing some of the issues in our review. The 40 frames per second support is a big deal. It enhances Star Wars Outlaws visual fidelity without sacrificing much of the fluidity. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see what gamers react to this, because this, to me, this is an empty gesture. It's not enough. It's Ubisoft's telling the gamers, especially the ones that like really care about the collector's editions, they don't care. And that's just par for the course. They'll write a little email. They'll try to correct it, kinda, not really, and they're just going to continue on the way they were continuing on, and then forget about you. And that's exactly what's going on with Assassin's Creed 2. We're going to talk about that in another video today, because yikes, things are kind of crazy on that front as well. Like I said, it's par for the course for Ubisoft. These people are just out of their minds, and it shows the entire way through that they didn't listen to customers about the design of KVS. They didn't listen to customers about trying to provide something interesting in the gameplay. They didn't listen to customers and the mocking reviews of some of these like takedowns and bad shooting of the AI. It's really a disaster on every single level, and this is just another instance of that. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think, my friends. Hit the like and subscribe button. If you want a great alternative to Disney Star Wars, come back us right here on The Hidden Emperor. You're going to love it. I appreciate you guys so much for doing so. We'll be back soon.